Welcome to my kitchen. Today I will be making cinnamon rolls. So I have 1 cup of milk that I warmed up for about 25 seconds in the microwave. You want it to be warm. You do not want to put cold milk or cold water. Then I have 1 cup of warm water. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of yeast. I am using the Active Dry Yeast. And then I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of sugar. And just give that a stir. And then I'm going to cover this with a towel and just let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, just so I can make sure that the yeast is working. You should see some bubbles start to form after a few minutes. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. I'm just going to take the cover off and you can see the bubbles starting to form. So to this mixture, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of butter that I've somewhat melted. You want it soft. I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. Then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. You can add more or less depending on your taste. 1 teaspoon of salt because I used unsalted butter. If you use salted butter, you probably don't need the salt. And then 2 eggs. And then you just want to mix this all together. And then I'm going to start adding my flour. I have 6 cups of flour. I'm just going to add about 2 cups to start with. If you have a stand mixer, you could certainly do this in a stand mixer. I just find it just as easy to stir it by hand. And you just want to gradually add your flour, about a cup at a time. And just keep adding it until it's all in the bowl and everything is well combined. Okay, once you have that pretty much combined, I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my cutting board here. Spread it out. I'm going to dump my dough out. And then you just want to start kneading this. If you need to add a little flour as you go, that's perfectly fine. Just sprinkle it on. And you want to knead this for about 5 minutes. Okay, once you have your dough all kneaded, I washed out my bowl and dried it. Just gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there and get the whole bowl coated. And then I'm going to put my dough in. And you want to just twirl it around. Make sure your dough gets coated with that oil. And kind of form it into a ball in there. And then I'm going to cover this and put it in a warm spot. We have the old-fashioned radiators, so I'm going to put it on top of those and let it sit for an hour, hour and a half until it doubles in size. Okay, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes and my dough has doubled in size at least. I'm gonna punch that down. And then I'm gonna put it out on my cutting board. I'm gonna put a little bit of flour down. And I'm gonna roll this out. First I'm gonna stretch it. This is always a tricky part, rolling it out. Put a little bit of flour. And you just want to roll it, stretch it, however you can get it stretched out. Okay, I've got it all stretched out. It's about 18 by 20. You can roll yours however thick you want. This is probably about a 1/4 inch thick. So the next thing I'm going to do, I have 1 whole stick of butter that I've pretty much melted. I'm going to brush the butter all over and just leave a little bit at the edge that's not buttered. Okay, then I'm going to take some cinnamon. I have about 2 tablespoons and just sprinkle that all over. If you need to use more, just use a little bit more. Just going to kind of brush it all in. Does get kind of messy. And then I'm going to use about 1/3 cup of brown sugar. And again, just cover the whole thing except for the edges. Okay, once you have that all done, I'm just going to turn my edges in a little bit and start rolling. And you want to get this as tight as you can. So you start with one end and just kind of work your way over. And just keep rolling. And tuck your ends in. And then you want to just tuck these in the best you can. And try to keep it as tight as you can. And just squeeze it to get it all pretty much the same size. And tuck your ends in. Okay, now we're going to start cutting our cinnamon rolls. You can cut them however thick you would like. You want to try not to squish them too much, but I've done it with a knife before. I've done it with this, and they both seem to squish them quite a bit. And just keep cutting until it's all cut up. Okay, so that made 23 cinnamon buns. I'm going to cover these one more time and put them in a warm spot for about 30 to 45 minutes until they puff up a little bit more. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes and our rolls have risen again. I'm going to put these in a preheated 350-degree oven for 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to check them at 20. They could take up to 30 minutes. It kind of depends on how thick your rolls are. Some of these are kind of thick, so I will check them at 20, but anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes and our cinnamon rolls are done. I'm just going to set those aside, let them cool, and I'm going to make some cream cheese frosting. Okay, to make my cream cheese frosting, I've added 8 ounces of cream cheese. And then I'm going to add 8 tablespoons of butter that I've softened in the microwave. And I'm just going to mix that until it's creamy. Once that's all creamy, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And mix that in. And then I'm going to slowly add 2 cups of confectionery or powdered sugar. And you just want to keep adding that until it's all incorporated. Okay, so our cinnamon rolls have cooled enough. I'm going to frost these. You can add as little or as much frosting as you'd like. These smell amazing. I hope you give them a try. Please like, share, and subscribe because that helps me out a great deal. And I will see you on the next one.